Hi, Dr. Karen Ken. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And this week I am here to share with you about gravity. Yes, gravity. So apparently there are these gravitational bodies inside us. Apparently there's 11, but there's supposed to be 12, but our creators made 11. So I still haven't quite figured that out yet, like what that's all about. However, the important part is that a lot of people, especially us light warrior sensitive souls, have noticed over the last couple of years we've been weighing more. We've actually increased our weight. Now, I know some people that maybe don't know me from very long ago will look at my body and go, well, gee, she's skinny. But when you look at how I fit into my clothes from 4 years ago, you'll definitely notice that I'm not skinny. So I've definitely increased some weight and mass. Now, according to Source, a lot of that mass was fluid. So fluid management has been really interesting. And those of us that are star seeds, light being star seeds actually, and I am part that, in a human body actually have more tendencies to collect fluid. Now, this fluid isn't just like random fluid. It actually helps us to some extent, whether it be translating or distributing what I call source codes, so higher vibrational energies into and through our human bodies. And so for us, because the light being starseeds tend to, with every ascension event, just kind of, really elevate their vibration, sometimes this fluid is necessary. The cool thing is that it's not necessarily to stay very long. And that's the trick, is to figure out how much needs to be produced, which is ideal for us and our health and well-being and for our soul's mission, and how much we can release and how quickly we can release. So it's an ongoing saga of how to do this. And so I've been working one-on-one with several light being starseeds, and we come up with different things. So it's not something that I could share all of in this video. However, what I did want to share with you is that for those of you that have gained significant weight through the ascension process, meaning that you haven't been necessarily eating more sugar, or exercising less, or sleeping less, or whatever it is that you think might be causing the weight gain, you might want to check to see if your gravitational bodies are fully balanced with those of Mother Earth in this body and this timeline. And here's the thing. I know from direct, let's say, conversation with a scientist, I won't say whom, that it is possible to make something a particular weight, like say, I don't know, a 15-pound barbell, okay? It is possible to make that 15-pound barbell feel like 2 pounds. Or feel like 50 pounds, by shifting its gravitational body. Now, of course, there might be devices, and some of you, starseeds are like, hey, it sounds like an alien device. Well, maybe it is, but it is actually possible, and it's been actually done, probably by various people here on Earth, and of course, various other alien cultures, etc., etc. But inside our bodies, there are these gravitational bodies as well. Like I said, there's 11 right now, and they're supposed to be, quote unquote, 12. However, I only know of 6 that I was told about at the Fiji retreat with Wellness Leadership Academy last summer. And these are like octahedron looking shapes with a sphere in the middle. And they are between the ankles, the knees, the belly, underneath the belly button, the dantian area, the heart, the throat area, and the center of the head. And on some level, at some somewhere in our timeline, we knew how to levitate, we knew how to fly, we knew how to create, quote unquote, less gravity, so less pull of our bodies to the earth. Now, my understanding is that, at least of testing lately, that the increase in weight for me, which seems to be a massive amount for a small person, because I was before between 15 and 20 pounds. 20 pounds was like heavy for me, right? And now I'm almost like 145. Sometimes I could get up to 150, without doing anything different. Was not so much that I increased physical mass, but that I was pulling more to the earth. So literally the scale would show more weight. So see if you can wrap your head around that, right? So the opposite, if we could have control of these, gravitational bodies and superpowers, we could actually theoretically, unweight us so we could levitate. And I know there's several people that, that might be magicians or whatever that have levitated live on camera. You can find them on YouTube, and whether it's real or not real, I'm not here to judge that, but it is possible, because on some level in some timeline we've been able to do that. So I just wanted to check in with you and show you that if you have significant weight, you could ask, how much of that excess weight is fat, which many of you assume it is, but it may not be. Okay, excess fluid, which in my case was quite a bit, but you know what? It looks just like fat. I mean, jiggles, you know what I mean? Except I went to the CrossFit gym and they actually did my body fat percentage and they thought, wow, your visceral fat is less than 1 pound. That's really awesome. And I'm like, oh, what's all this stuff in my belly? And they're like, I don't know, It's fluid. A lot of it's fluid. Okay, and then of course you can just check to see if your gravitational bodies are fully balanced with Mother Earth. Now that won't necessarily make you lighter, but at least it won't make you hopefully heavier than you really need to be. So that's like the big news. The other news for this week is there are some positive morphic fields that have been downloading lately, and the one that came up the other day, which I think I would share with you, which because it's super important, is one of self-forgiveness. So there's a positive morphic field of self-forgiveness, and many of you already have it, but there seems to be a more evolved version that has developed through Ascension that you can download and activate to yourself. So if you know TOLPAKAN Healing, go ahead and do that. Download and activate that. There's also been newer morphic fields of self-reliance and the oneness morphic field recently that's come up over and over again in TOLPAKAN Healing. So check that out and see if that makes a difference in your life. So yeah, there have been some pretty significant Ascension upgrades lately. Some of you have been feeling it as detox symptoms, or just feeling sick or flu-like or vomiting or whatever. So I feel bad about that. It's not very comfortable. So just make sure that you remember to ground, integrate, and process Ascension energies as efficiently as possible. You can test this with divine muscle testing, how well you're doing it, and then go ahead and use a directive to go ahead and ground, integrate, and process the Ascension more effectively. And if you need some help on how to do that, the best way to do it that I know of is, using the TOLPAKAN Healing Guides to figure out what it is you need to know before they can ground or process. And this is part of the TOLPAKAN Healing Level 1 training, the standard training that we just launched a couple of weeks ago, and is still actually at the early bird price, looks like, through the 14th. So if you're watching this after February 14th, I apologize. But for those of you that catch this video before February 14th, 2019, it's $500 off for the TOLPAKAN Level 1 training, which basically trains you in how to do self-healing using the TOLPAKAN Healing Guides, and to be able to download positive frequencies to yourself and be able to release, dissolve, and uncreate negative energies from yourself. So I'll put that link in the description of if that interests you to check it out. Announcement. So very exciting on Monday, February 18th with David Schmidt. We're having an interview radio show on Light Warrior Radio. David Schmidt is the CEO and inventor of the LifeWave phototherapy patches. So these phototherapy patches actually emit and reflect light in the body, infrared light. And the newest patch to come out in the patch family is the X39, which is a stem cell phototherapy patch. And if you're on Facebook this week, you probably have seen some of the amazing photos from one of our distributors in LifeWave, whose son had a snowboarding accident and his face hit a rock. So he had all these horrible, poor thing, cuts on his face. Used the X39. Within 5 days, you couldn't, you can barely see any scars. It was really a miraculous healing. So check out those pictures. So David is going to come live on the show, and I know he's extremely busy, been traveling a lot, but he's agreed to come on the show Monday. So if you have questions about how the phototherapy patches work, which other patches you can use it with, what protocols are best, what it does, how does it stimulate stem cells, and is it safe for everyone, and who should or shouldn't use it, then definitely come on the show and ask your questions live. Again, I will post the link in the description. So 12 noon Eastern on Monday, February 18th is the show. And if if you're working, you can't make it, it's, too early in the morning for you, there's always the replay as well. And you can always join our LifeWave Patch Training Team support group on Facebook, and you can get support and ask questions there as well. Also, the other announcement that I had is that my good friend Jenny No has had a launch of her own related to relationships, and that was on From Heartache to Joy. So if you're on that mailing list, you probably would have seen that come through. So I encourage you to check it out because it's a wonderful relationship package that she is creating with 30 days of videos of coaching, mentoring, healing videos she is doing as part of this program. Like, wow, amazing. Also, if you're on my mailing list, you will be receiving an invitation to my friend Jenny No's masterclass that has to do with prosperity and life purpose and passion. So if you're at that point in your life where you're feeling like, I'm ready to really rock my soul purpose, but I'm like a little lost, like where should I go next? This is a great masterclass because there's also energy healing and activations right in those masterclasses too. So if you're a fan of energy healing, you're a fan of me, you probably love Jenny. So get on my mailing list, KarenKan.com, because we will be releasing that masterclass link, that special link, in a day or two. Yay! Last announcement for this week, as I mentioned earlier, the TOLPAKAN Level 1 training is open. We have a rolling enrollment. However, the $500 early bird special is ending February 14th. So the 15th, the price will go up to the regular price of $19.99. If you miss it, it's okay. I mean, you can always enroll later. There is payment plans for that. And this is really for people who want to and need to sometimes understand what is going on with their life, to be able to problem solve some of the most difficult and challenging things, and like us light warriors, star seeds, and sensitive souls like earth angels and indigos and empaths have to deal with, that basically regular medicine cannot deal with or isn't very good at dealing with, and certainly even other healing modalities don't go at that level, where we can address multiple dimensions, where at once, multiple timelines at once, heal entities and other weapons and things like that by the millions at once. And really, because of the energies here, we're really protected by interference from entities when we're doing the work at this level. So super, super excited to have launched this finally this year. And later on in the spring, we'll be launching the practitioner certification training as well. And you'll learn more about that if you're on my mailing list. Please join us on Light Warrior Network if you haven't already, and because we'll be announcing when that will be open and people can apply for that and find out more. So that is the Spiritual Medicine Digest for this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you online. Lots of love. Bye for now.